begin. Good morning. My name is Lucy Fox, and I'll be reading a story out of the book called The Lakota Way, Stories and Lessons for Living by Joseph Marshall III. I'm going to be reading the story of the giants. They say it was a summer of many storms, that time when Red Caps people were camped on the prairie north of the Running Waters River and south of the Great Muddy. Cloud and Plum were married in the moon of berries ripening. 2 evenings later, a storm blew in from southwest, so fierce that the old ones say it was the worst one they ever knew. The winged ones stayed out of the sky, the two-legged stayed inside shelter, and the four-leggeds hid inside thickets. Women braved cold raindrops and stinging hailstones to pound in picket pins so the buffalo hide lodges would stand strong in the howling winds. The night centennials covered their heads with buffalo robes as they stood watch. Big black clouds rolled across the sky, and the thunder shouted, their mighty voices crackling and rumbling, and their angry eyes flashing with the light of the 100 suns. But the storm was not the worst thing that happened to Red Caps people that summer. They waited out the wind, rain, and hailstorms. Something dark and ugly came out of the night, ripping into their lodges. Cloud and Plum huddled together in their new home pitched behind her parents' lodge as the great storm rumbled and blew. Their lodge stood strong in the wind, however, and they knew it would pass as all storms do. But from the darkness they heard cries of fear and terror. Dogs barked and howled in fright. Men shouted warnings that were lost in the wind. Women and children screamed. Something ripped from their lodge and from their picket pins, something more powerful than the wind. The mountainous black figure, far taller than the lodge, stood outlined against the lightning flashes. It was Ea, the giant. With the strength of 1,000 men, the blackest of hearts and the bottomless hunger that drove him to terrible deeds. A hand larger than a grown man reached in and snatched Plum away from Cloud, like something plucking a new leaf. Before Cloud's unbelieving eyes, and hand tossed the struggling Plum into a mouth like a large hole in the ground. And she was gone. He was shocked and couldn't move as Ea tore apart the village to satisfy his ravenous hunger. Many lodges were torn apart that night. Many minds were numb and fear as Ea swept through the village. No one nor anything could stop him.
Time.